Good afternoon, Nova Nation. It's WXVU Sports Director David Szczepanski coming to you from outside of the Wells Fargo Center. Unfortunately, it was not a good afternoon for the Villanova Wildcats today, taking on the Creighton Blue Jays here in South Philadelphia. This is a game that Villanova had really every opportunity to win. Final score, Creighton defeated Villanova 62-60. A low-scoring battle where really their defense played well for most of the 40 minutes, but really came down to who could execute more in the final few minutes of this ball game. And once again, as Villanova has over the past few games this season, has really struggled in the second half, and Creighton was able to execute. Stephen Ashworth eventually with the game winner. He hit a quiet 13 points in this game for Creighton, but had the biggest shot of the night and really was able to execute when it mattered the most down the stretch. Ryan Kalkbrenner had 22 points for Creighton, but the Blue Jays had 18 turnovers. Villanova's defense played well for most of the game. Their defense was able to find ways to force turnovers on Creighton, especially early on in the second half and towards the end of the first half. Villanova did not start off all that well in this game. They were down by about 8 to 10 points early on in the first half, but the Wildcats were able to battle back. Unfortunately, their comeback was halted by Stephen Ashworth and the Blue Jays in the final few minutes. Kalkbrenner again 22 points for the Blue Jays. As for Villanova, Luka Poplar had 24 points at his best game in a couple weeks for Villanova. Of course, was ejected against Georgetown, did not play all that well against Marquette, but he gave Villanova really every opportunity, every chance that they could to really win this game late in the second half. Some other stats in this one for Villanova when it was all said and done. Eric Dixon, 17 points, did hit 2,000 points in his college career, so congratulations to Eric Dixon. That was a big milestone for him. Was a little inefficient at times. He did have the turnover at the end of the game that officially sealed the deal for Creighton, but he was very good in the first half when Villanova really as a team wasn't scoring a whole lot. Three-point struggles really for both of these teams. It was the opposite from behind the arc than what it was in Omaha, Nebraska. Both teams shot around 20% from behind the arc. Villanova a little less than that, Creighton a little above that. But Creighton, like I said, they had 18 turnovers in this game. Kind of the biggest difference, like I said, besides who was able to shoot better down the stretch and be more efficient, was the rebounding. We didn't talk a whole lot about it in the WXU broadcast, but Creighton kind of quietly won the rebounding battle by 12, 40-28 when it was all said and done. So that was a big difference. Creighton's offense was able to get second chance opportunities, and they proved of why they're having a really good season and have a great chance to make the tournament and to make March Madness. So Villanova falls to 12-10, and most likely that will do it for Villanova's chances to get an at-large bid. They will pretty much officially, not quite official, but pretty much have to win the Big East tournament to make March Madness in March at Madison Square Garden in New York. So they're going to have to pretty much run the table in the Big East tournament. Tough loss for Villanova, but could have been a very nice quad 2 victory to your resume. So the Wildcats fall here at the Wells Fargo Center 62-60. Villanova has lost 5 of its last 6 games. Creighton is now 5-2 in program history here at the Wells Fargo Center. Villanova will look to rebound against DePaul on February the 5th in Chicago. Our next men's basketball broadcast will be on February the 9th as Villanova will take on Xavier right here at the Wells Fargo Center on Super Bowl Sunday. Hope you can join us then. It'll be a noon tip-off here from the Wells Fargo Center. Reporting live outside of the Wells Fargo Center in South Philadelphia, very cold and windy South Philadelphia, I'm WXVU Sports Director David Szczepanski. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, have a great rest of your weekend, and go Cats!